So I finally got to it. I finally got to the sequel of This Is England. After reading the comment section of my This Is England review, a lot of you guys like, Ali, you gotta keep watching, you gotta keep watching, keep watching. You gotta watch 86, you gotta watch 88, you gotta watch 90. Just watch the next series. And I finally sat down and was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch This Is England 86. I already know how some of the events play out because after I watched This Is England, I kind of did a little like studying and researching to figure out like what happens next, like what's the continuation. So I should say read it, but I never seen it. And watching This Is England 86, it's a lot of emotions going on in this season of this series. And I love the fact that Shane Meadows made it a series instead of doing a sequel movie. He broke it down to 4 episodes because it's so good. This Is England 86 is so good. And today I'm excited to review it on this episode of Movie Breakdowns Series Review. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdown Series Review. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And what is Movie Breakdown Series Review? Well, it's a series where we look at seasons of a series and review them. We give a grade A through F, plus and minus through count. And at the end of it all, we give the whole series a collective grade. And I also have a Patreon. And on Patreon, you can get first come, first serve. So you're getting reviews out before they get on Facebook and YouTube, months in advance. Also, you get trailer reaction, trailer reviews, and much more stuff. And if there's a series you want me to review or something you want me to watch, please put in the comment section below and I'll get to it as quick as I can. But that Patreon, there's no wait, you get it immediately. Now, I also want to say thank you guys so much for your love and support. Thank you guys for the comment. Thank you guys for the share. I appreciate the views. Thank you guys so much because I enjoy doing this, but you guys kind of make it a little more fun and give you more things to watch, and I appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. Now, let's go ahead and get to this episode of This Is England 86. And before I get into spoilers, and before I get into my first thoughts, what is This Is England 86 is about? Well, it's a sequel to the movie This Is England. It's actually 3 years later. This Is England happened in 83. This Is England 86 happened in, of course, 1986. And the characters you see in those movies, you get to see more of their life story. You get to see them more grow. It's like a slice of life and a little more drama into it. You get to see them trying to tackle adulthood and tackling relationships and all these things that interact in modern day life. Like, it is pretty dang good. And I think it resonated with me so much because now I'm an older person. I watched this and I'm like, I feel that. I get that. I can see this. Oh man. That's tough. Okay. Whew. Alright. Like, that's what this is. And in 1983's version, This Is England, or This Is England 83, the movie pretty much, I should say, in that you're following more of Sean's story. When in 86, you're following Sean a little bit, but he's not really the focal point. He's just like your main character that kind of, he's like, I'm gonna take a step back because this season, to me, and this is when I start getting from like my first thoughts, was more about Milky, Lowell, and Woody. It was more about those three, and really Lowell and Woody really more than anything. Everybody else is kind of there. Everybody else is kind of like for laughs or jokes, or they played a part into one of these three characters' like life. Sean was there. But Sean kind of was distanced from the group for a while, and they come across with them when he went at the, I guess, against the spoilers too with this as well. And let's go ahead and jump into it. You already got what the series is about. If you want to watch it, go watch it. I think you should watch it because this season is super great. I don't think you need to really watch the movie to watch this series, watch this season and appreciate it, to be honest. Because if you would have showed me This Is England 86 first, I'd probably been like, oh my gosh, is there more? Is there a prequel? What happens next? I need to know more. Who are these characters? okay, oh my goodness, this is done so well. I don't think you really this could be a hot take here, but I don't think you need to watch 83 to really appreciate 86 because, wow, I gotta say for 86. So I'm gonna get into the spoilers on this one in 3, 2, 1. So, spoilers with this. Sean doesn't come across the group until he runs into them at the hospital in episode 1. He's been distant from them since 83. Like, he has not been around this group of people who he kind of ran in contact with, who brought him in under his wing in the first movie. So as Sean, he's getting reintroduced to his group. He meets Mel, his old fling, and they kind of pick back up, but they're not really that important because Lowell and Woody and their marriage, that is what's important in this movie, in this series, I should say. Like, in this season, Woody can't commit after dating Lowell for so long. He can't commit at all. And Lowell's getting frustrated by this, and she's getting upset, and Woody doesn't seem like he's really paying attention to her, and when he's trying to do things, Lowell's getting more and more mad. And then she's sleeping around with Milky, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And then Lowell's father come back into the picture, and that turns, like, when he comes in, it's a whole nother scary twist, and it's really like shocking and really scary with him. And there's an actual thing I've noticed watching this season, because you have a character named Gadget who gets into it with a lady named Trudy. Gadget's 17. Trudy's maybe 30, 40-year-old lady. And she, I believe her name is Trudy. Let me double check that. I actually have, yes, Trudy. I have my tablet here with names on them, with a cast on it. And Trudy is manipulating Gadget and shaping him into the way she wants to shape him. And Gadget doesn't really want to, like, continue. He's hooking up with her. And you're like, bravo, bravo, Gadget, Gadget. It's funny. He played off for laughs. And anytime he's trying to, like, rebuttal against Trudy, or like, I want to go do my own thing, hang out with friends, she's like trapping him in this relationship or guilting him to be in this relationship with her, and he doesn't really want to do it, but he's forced to. And then she's like having him like to have sex with her, and he's like reluctantly wanting to do it, and to a certain time he's like, I don't want to, do I have to? And she's like, yes, get on top of me. And it's played off for laughs, like she got him dressed up kind of goofy like, it's joke. But then you have Lowell's father, who forced himself upon Lowell's sister's friend, and it's shocking and it's disturbing to watch, and it's like you're getting upset watching this because you're like, I want this man to burn, I want this man to get killed. And it's almost how Shane Meadows, the writer, how he did this in a good, like, it was really interesting how he did it. He had two same situations pretty much. One was more forceful, and one was the male taking advantage. Another one was a woman taking advantage. The male taking advantage was like shocking, scary. Like, you wanted to beat him up, you wanted to stop, you didn't want to watch this. You're like, this is horrible. And the tone and the tension, and it all like make you feel like, I was legit upset watching it. And I really wanted that character to get his comeuppance so bad watching this episode. And it's episode 3. While you have Gadget in the same situation, and Gadget, because he's a guy, but he's younger, 17-year-old, getting taken advantage of by the older woman, it's kind of like, oh, he's funny because, you know, he could just leave if he wanted to. He doesn't feel like he's trapped in it, but she's kind of, in a sense, like emotionally and mentally messing with him in a way to make him, like, stay. Say this situation, 2 adults who are older, taking advantage of younger people. One played off for laughs because one was male to female to male, female older, male younger. And then one was male older, female younger, and the male older was like tension, like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Got stopped it by the younger one, female or older, female, younger male. You're like, oh, that's funny. Yeah, it sucks, but you know what? He can get out of it. No big deal. And it was kind of like, why does society look at that like that? Why do we look at the fact that like a 17-year-old man getting taken advantage of a 40-year-old woman, 30-year-old woman is put off for laughs, but then you get the same thing that happens, and you're like, kill the 40-year-old man, make sure he burns, like he needs to die. And I think that was an interesting concept. I took it, like, I was like, I remember there's an episode of George Lopez that did the same thing, where George Lopez in the community got together to stop a teacher who was taking advantage of a young person. Now, when they got to the teacher's place, they found out the teacher was a woman. And the guy that she messing with a student, a boy student, and all the guys was like, oh, that's fine, whatever, cool, walk away. While the mom was like, that's not cool at all. She shouldn't be taking advantage of young kids at all. And this same thing happens in This Is England in '86. You're watching the older woman take advantage of a 17-year-old boy. Luckily, he's able to walk away and he's able to get out. Like, he finally got out of it. But then, maybe, an episode and a half later, you watch the older male take advantage of the younger girl, and you're like, this is sickening. Somebody needs to help her. And it's almost like how societal thing, like, look at it like that, like, oh, they're both wrong, but one is not as taken as seriously as the other. And the show actually does the tension that way. There's levity with Gadget and the older lady and Trudy. There's no levity with Lowell's father and Lowell's sister's friend. There's no levity with that. There's pure tension, pure just sickening, the tone and everything, and you have to listen to it, and you're just like wanting it to stop. It is good for writing, good for them. That scene, I had a lot of emotions watching this season. Like, I went from high to low to low, even in shock and awe, and like with Milky and Low and them hooking up and them doing their thing, and you're like, but Low's in a committed relationship with Woody, and Woody's gonna lose his girlfriend, and Woody breaking down to Milky, and Milky's feeling like remorseful about this. Like, all of it is done so well that you're just like, this cast, this acting is great. It is such a great season. This season is awesome. You need to watch this. It is rated M for mature, but you need to watch this. Like, and I probably made that M for MA, not M for mature, but it's MA. Like, this is not a kids show. This is something adults should watch. It is great. Great. It's freaking awesome. This show is freaking awesome. I literally just like applaud. From the emotions to the tone to the music playing in the background, from Lowell and her expressions, and then Woody and his expressions, and Milky, it's great. I don't know what else more I can say about this, because I was on for the journey. I watched episode 1, I want to watch episode 2. I watched episode 2, I want to watch episode 3. After episode 3, I was like, I have to know what happened in episode 4, because one, Combo comes back. You're like, Combo just came out of nowhere. He's been gone for 3 episodes, and here he is at the end of episode 3. What is going to happen? Like, there's so much stuff in this season, but they're all big picture stuff. Like, it's not like multiple little things. It's like there's 4 storylines that you really need to pay attention to, and it is done so well. I applaud. And I think by making this a series, making this a season instead of a whole movie, Shane Meadows got a chance to like actually focus in and give more details of characters that might not got details, might not got information, or might not got backstory on them. He was able to focus in on them, and you're able to experience them more. Like, you knew Lowell watching This Is England was a cool character, the movie, but you didn't know really much about her. And then this season, you get a lot about her, and you're like, okay, I thought this character was pretty cool in the movie, but now I really want to know more about this character now. Now I want to know more about this. Like, it's great. It's great. I really don't know what more I can say. So I'm not gonna get to characters, because I can talk about this season and how great it is, how the tone is, how the writing, the lighting, like the lighting direction of stuff. Like, where they're trying to get serious, they show like people's faces and their emotions. Like, this cast, let's gotta get into characters and the cast, because this cast is A+. It's great. This cast is great. Everything about them. Joe Gilgun, who played Woody, great. His like party mentality he has, and he wants to be the partier. He wants to be the guy who like have fun all the time. He doesn't want to grow up just yet. He doesn't want to, but he feels kind of pressure to do so. So at the wedding with him and Lowell, he finds himself like wanting to. He kind of wants to say I do, I love her, but he doesn't do it, and he pauses, and he see like everybody's like, come on man, just say it, just say the words. You've been here, you love her, you know you love her. Why don't you just say? Why don't you say it? And he doesn't. And Woody's like blatant ignoring the whole fact that like he really should say he loves her. He really should do the marriage. He still should do the wedding. But he's like, I don't want to grow up yet. I want to be like my dad. And his resentment to all those things. Freaking Joe does a good job expressing that. And expressing him going to the day in and day out working and doing a job where he's just not really that satisfied at. Woody, I think, is a great character. I like him in the movie, and I think I appreciate him in this series. But he's messing up, to be honest. As a character, like the character Woody himself in 86 is messing up. And I like the writing of it. I'm curious to see where his storyline goes. Next, I want to talk about Vicky McClure. Vicky McClure is freaking great. She is phenomenal. As Lowell, phenomenal this season. Like her reactions, her emotions, her joy, her happiness, her sorrow, all of that. I felt the fear in her eyes when she had those scenes. I felt that. Like I wanted nothing more for this character to just like one, tell the truth. Also wanted her, like when she went to go confront her dad at the end of the season, to go with a friend. Because when the scene that she was getting attacked, I was like, not this way, not Lowell too. She already experienced this, and I gotta watch her experience this again. I don't want this to happen. Like, she did great. Her acting is phenomenal this season. The character herself, I wanted Lowell to fess up, or at least like just tell Woody like, hey, I'm done with this. I don't want to continue this on. And Woody wants to hold it together. Like, I felt the whole thing from Vicky. Did a great job with Lowell, and I freaking love that character. Like, I felt that character. I felt everything that Vicky brought into her character, the acting. Like, I'm not sure what the British awards show for TV shows and movies, but this cast should deserve an Oscar. Like, this cat deserves an Oscar. Thomas Durgoose, who played Sean, he did great. He is great. When Combo comes back into the picture at the end of the season, he has a great reaction. Sean is great. He's a good good character, and Thomas does a great job giving that character. A character who, this young boy who doesn't really want to know what he want to do after school, has to get a job. His emotions, you experience it. Like, he's still high-headed. He's still stubborn at certain points. I get this character. I'm not a fan of him, but I get the character, and Thomas does a good job making you feel that way. Like, he makes you feel like, oh yeah, this is the main character, and he also gives you the idea, like, when it comes to Sean, he makes you believe that Sean is this character that you can try to get behind, you kind of want to cheer for, but at the same time, you're kind of like, based off of Thomas' reactions and things he does for Sean, you're like, I don't really like Sean all the way. Sean's a character I don't really like. I get where he's coming from, and Thomas does a great job giving those emotions. Thomas does a great job showing that Sean could be this lovable character, but at the same time, a little bit of a dickhead. Like, good work. Andrew Ellis as Gadget. Andrew brings a little more levity to this series. Him being Gadget, make Gadget the levity character. Gadget the one who brings a little more fun and joy to the series. And Andrew does a great job portraying that character. His reactions, everything about it is great. Andrew Sim, who is Milky, one of the most serious characters in the series. So one of the big things at the end of This Is England, the movie, Milky gets beat to near death. And I was like, did Milky survive? Did Milky's dead? Is he alive? And I go, like, that's why I called me to review, like, and study more of the series, because I wanted to know what happened to Milky. And then in This Is England 86, you see Milky perfectly fine. Got a couple of scars on his face, but he's perfectly fine. He's hanging out with a group, and him and Lowell has a thing. I didn't see it coming, but this season really brings that relationship to them to light. Lowell considered Milky a best friend, and when she's going through trouble with Woody, and especially when her dad comes back into the picture and Woody doesn't really seem like he's caring that much, she goes and resides to Milky, and Milky just brings her in. Not knowing that they actually have a relationship together, and they're cheating on Woody, and Milky, you feel for him in a sense where he's like, I feel bad for cheating on my best friend, and you get the feeling. Andrew does a good job expressing this, and Milky's trying to do his best he can to, like, trying to repair the relationship, repair Lowell and Woody's relationship, and trying to get Woody to step up because he's like, you're losing her. Good stuff. The next character I want to talk about is Combo. He was only back for really one full episode. That's the 4th episode. And Stephen Graham, who plays Combo, I'm trying to figure out the best way to express it, because I like Combo, Stephen Graham, who plays Combo. Like, I like the mannerism that he brings to Combo, because you never felt that Combo, like in the movie, you felt like Combo was kind of racist. You think this, you see this, the way Combo was reacting and stuff like that, and you're like, okay. And then in this series, in this season, he still could have actually had those ideals and that mentality. We don't really get to see it as much, but you know that he cares about his friends more than anything. He cares about Sean. He goes back to Sean's place because that's the person he can like go to and like know he can trust. He cares about Lowell, and he loses his mother in this season, and you see how he feels. I'm thinking like, Combo's a little unhinged. You can't really trust him, and he might do something stupid, which is funny because Sean even says, "Don't do anything stupid, Combo. Don't do anything stupid." And Combo goes and see what happens to Lowell at the end of the season, and he takes the fall from her. And you can see his reaction, the way he looks at it. Stephen Graham did a good job getting that thing of like the tension and the anxiety of having what's going on and what everything about to take place, and you can see him trying to stay cool and calm and collected, but at the same time knowing that he has to do something that's going to put his life in jeopardy. Freaking great. Stephen Graham, for that one episode he was in, great. And I want more from Combo, and I want to see what his storyline plays out, because we don't get to see in this season the resolution between Combo and Milky. I was hoping I'm going to get that. I might not get it. I might get it in 88, if not 90. But I want to see how Combo and Milky react when they come across each other. And the fact that scene, that's such a very visceral scene that sticks in my mind from the movie, it's not talked about at all. Milky actually doesn't bring it up, but you see the scars on Milky's face, so you know what's going on. You know at the beginning of this season, it picks up from that scene, and Sean and Combo kind of go their separate ways. But Sean is really talk about, like, he talks about it to Smell when he first see the gang again, but they're like, we're done with that. Milky's still around. Milky himself doesn't really talk about it. You don't know how Milky really feels, and I really want to know more about that. So I'm excited to see 88 and 90 because we don't really get more from those two interaction. And then I might mess her name up. Rosamund Hansen, who plays Smell. I thought she was a fine character. She was kind of seems a voice of reason at certain points, and she's an oddball character now. I'm seeing that from Rosamund. And freaking Johnny Harris as Mick. Freaking hate this guy. Freaking hate Mick. I hate everything Mick stands for. I hate Mick as a character. You see him in episode 1, you do not like him. And then in episode 2, 3, you just freaking hate this character. Like 3 just sits at home. And 4, you're just like, I'm glad what happens to him. Like, I can't stand this character. And Johnny Harris does a good job. His acting and him making you believe that this person is somebody who's unhinged, somebody who is crazy mentally, somebody who can hurt and harm anybody, somebody you can't trust. He does a great job bringing this character to life, and he does a great job making you hate him. And props to him, because the stuff he did as a character, it is something you're just like, I cannot stand this character's guts. I hope this character burns. And Johnny Harris as Mick, he did a good job portraying Mick. And that scene at the end of episode 4 in this season, really, like, yeah, it's that scene of episode, and that scene in episode 4 and the scene ending in episode 3. It really is tough to watch, and you're just like, you feel hopeless for the characters that he's assaulting, and you're glad that, you know, in episode 4 that it portrays the way it does, and it sucks because I wish Lowell would have had backup at the time, but you glad this character gets what he gets. Like, he gets exactly what he deserves. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else I really want to point out here. Hannah Walters, who played Trudy, I thought she did a good job. I thought she did a great job portraying that character. You're like something's not right with her, and you wonder how, you know, Gadget is going to escape from her. But I'm trying to think if there's anybody else I really want to point out here. Danielle Watson, who played Trev, she's the friend of Lowell's sister, who Lowell's sister is played by Chanel Cheswell. She's Kelly. So Trev, she did a great job. Like, when Trev was in the situation that she got put in, and you're just scared and terrified for her, Danielle Watson did a good job expressing that fear. And this cast is great. This cast is great. I don't know what else to talk about this season. I think it's freaking phenomenal. And let's see, music-wise, music choice is great. Great music. The instrumentals and the instruments played, the classical tones, phenomenal. The lighting, the directing, the set pieces, great. Great. Camera angles, great. I don't know what else to talk about this season, but it's just freaking phenomenal. Is this a season you should watch? Yes, you should watch this season. And grading time. I'm going to grade, this is England, 86 and A+. An A+. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. From cast, to writing, to directing, to lighting, to pacing. This is a great season. The emotions that this season gives you, the highs, you're feeling like, oh man, friends are hanging out, the party scenes, to the lows, to watching a character watching something that breaks his heart and he end up falling into a trap with a lady because she's also lonely. It is great. It is great. A character seeing her father who she resents because of things that he did to her as a kid, which is sickening, and then she's going to confront her father. One, I'm kind of upset that she did it by herself. I think she should have had backup, at least brought Woody, Milky. Heck, Milky actually was in a scene where he was there when she actually needed his help and didn't really do anything. And I get because Milky wasn't supposed to be there, but at the same time, Milky should have came downstairs to at least know, like, can I help you or something? I kind of wish we would have got that. Like, can I help you? Can I, excuse me? Just to scare her dad, just to scare Mick. Because then the scene, which at the end of the season, where Lowell was by herself with her father, we made that a little more like there's nobody coming to save her now. Because we already seen that, I guess, in episode 2, which was episode 2, if not 3. I think it's episode 3. My bad, guys. But we seen where like Lowell was already like in a position like she can't stand up against him, and I kind of wish she would have took back up because we already knew what was going to happen, but she didn't. So, yeah, the cast is great. The cast is phenomenal. A+ it is. This is an A+. If you've seen This Is England 86, what do you think? Please put in the comment section below. And thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdown Series Review. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all y'all. And see you guys in the next episode. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, you want to see what else I'm doing in my normal life and other things that's going on, please follow me on Instagram at Ali_Zakka. I'll put it right here around my face. Yep, right there. Also, if you want more episodes of movie breakdowns or grind towards success or whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, you know what? Follow my page right here, like I said before, the little comment thing right there, And then you can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right here, and watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success right there. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Keep being awesome.